Let's have a go at this. This is the left hand rear wheel arch. This is rotted in the same place here, just this bottom, just on this crease, just below there it's gone. But the inner lip has gone as well on this side. It's not, it really needs replacing. So I've got to cut this back a bit higher. So I'm going to make a tape pattern. This is interesting tape. It's quite thin, but it's fiberglass, and it's really strong stuff. So I'm going to give this a try and see how we get on. I'm going to put it on in 2 layers diagonally. Or sort of diagonally. This morning I've been, it's Sunday today, and I don't like making too much noise on a Sunday. I don't want to piss the neighbours off too much. Although most of the neighbours around here are retired anyway, so whether it's a Sunday or a Monday doesn't really make any difference. But yeah, I've been watching videos, and it's always good to watch clever people doing body work, and you realise sort of how not good you are. Because of course I'm self-taught, certainly no professional, but you might find something in my videos that you don't see elsewhere. You know, sort of develop my own ways. And there's certain bits I've done on the car that when you look back, is that really good enough? And I might go back and change them. I'm not showing you which bits they are though. And doing this tape, a lot of filler on here. Doing this tape trick is, if you watch Pro Shaper, he's got his own system with this tape malarkey, and he explains it well, that it'll show you the area value as well as, or instead of, the arrangement value, which means have you got enough metal in the right places. I've got high hopes for this tape. You bored yet? Another guy I watch who seems very underrated, he doesn't have that many followers, is Envision Prototypes. He's a clever guy. I'll have an interesting video coming up soon, which I'm sure you will enjoy. Just put a little teaser out there. I'm not going to tell you what it is in case it doesn't happen. I don't know what this tape's for. I think it might be some electrical application. I bought it off eBay thinking, oh, that's going to be useful for something at some point. And we'll see if it is. Right, so that's the sort of outline marked. Let's see if this will come off now. Leaving some of it behind there. A little bit too sticky maybe. Not overly happy with that. I'm going to try that again, but this time the first layer I'm going to cut a piece off and just stick it to my jeans to pick up a bit of dust, and then stick it on. Which that might work better. We'll see. Okay, take two. So this is stick to your trousers first method. I can't really mark that edge there because I haven't really got one. Let's see if that comes off easier. You can use masking tape for this, but what I like with this fiberglass is it doesn't stretch. So there's not masses of stretching to do there. I thought we'd have a lot more. So we got some stretching. Can you see that on the end? Some stretching there, and some stretching there, but the rest of it is pretty flat. So I thought today I was going to do some thinking about this, but I don't think I need to think anymore. You see with that bulge there, that just won't go flat there. Right. Morning all. I've been a bit lazy, I've had 3 days off. Anyway, scraped some more of this paint and filler back to see what we've got. Got a dent here. I wonder how that got in there. That's a strange dent to be up there. Anyway, thinking time how to make this piece here. And here's my pattern. And I suppose I could cut a piece of metal banana shaped, but then I'd have to put all these bends in by hand. I couldn't do it on the metal bender, on the folder. So I think I'm going to cut this as a straight piece, and then I'll put these bends in, I think, and then shrink and stretch it to get it to conform to that shape. And then it would appear that I need a bit more metal here. It's a bit, so I might have to hammer that out a little bit each end. So as you can tell, I'm threading the shed, and I just make it up as I go along, really. Sometimes it works, but usually it works. So I get this cut out, see what we can do with it. Well, I'm getting very low on steel. I'll just get this piece out of here. So here's the shape I'm trying to achieve. Which goes something like that. This bend here, the first bend that goes up inside and wraps round, I'll have to put that on last by hand, because that'll be a tapering bend, because this gets smaller slightly, does it? Well, slightly, a little bit smaller at each end. So we'll start with this this bend here, which I'll do in the folder, and then try and get it to shape, I think. So, can we see that? First bend, which I'm going to ignore for now, and second bend, that's what I'm going to put in here. that's about it, I think. You can't see this, can you? That's pretty good there. So now I think I'm going to stretch this to get it to curve around the wheel arch. So that's a very rough outline of the wheel arch, which I've just offered that up and drawn it round. So I've got to get that straight bit of metal into that sort of shape. And if this was a right angle bend, that'd be fairly straightforward on the shrinker. But whether with that angle it'll work, I don't know. Let's give it a whirl. So, I think it will have to be a combination of stretching and shrinking. Let's see what happens. So I'm going to write on there. Well, that was a stupid idea, that's never going to work. So I'm back to banana shaped. Okay, that wasn't going to work. And I'm finding this a surprisingly tricky panel. So I've gone for this banana shape again. And I've got a cut in there which I'll have to weld up. Let's see if we can do this all on a sandbag. Of course this is one I made, but you could make one of these out of a pair of Levi's. Let's see what happens here. Put some gloves on. And especially for Phil, look at these, new gloves.
Was a top 10 single in 1986. Which group?
8 Bites.
8 Bites straight away. Lovely, lovely. Very nice score here, Nick. 30 points. Yeah, absolutely terrific. Well, you've got all your bonuses. 30 points. Strong.
getting there. Give me some trouble, this one though. I'm quite embarrassed this would take me so long to get into this shape. And underneath I've got all these pie cuts, which I hate putting those in, but I just couldn't get it into shape. So I'm gonna take that off and weld those up with TIG, and then I can planish this into a better shape with a bit of luck. So I've still got plenty of time to mess it up a bit more. So while it was clamped on, I just welded up the ends of these, because when you take it off it all flexes around, and hopefully that'll keep it in shape. So now I'll cut some wedges and try and weld those gaps up. So that's the old wheel arch cut out. You can see I've lost this bottom edge here. This is quite interesting. I thought this was rot here, but it's not. That's not doing it. That's just cut away there, and the same over here. It starts to cut away, so that this flange isn't actually gripping anything. It's just rolled over there. That's okay. And so I'll repair that edge, and then get that in there. That's a pretty nice fit. And a continuous MIG weld is what I'll aim for. Left rear wheel arch, and I replaced this lip here down to here. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but while I'm here I may as well do it. That's a continuous butt weld MIG, well, continuous 500 individual spot welds, painted. This is the outer section ready to go on, and I've started that fold over edge there, and that'll fit quite nice. So a lot more welding. Now, is it best to start in the middle or at the end? I think I'll start in the middle. going in quite nicely. Not had to put any real stress on that yet. I'm a little bit out here, but that'll come good. I put that slot in there because I was a bit low. I should be able to tap that up a little bit now to recover from that. And I'm a little bit low there, which I can fudge that. And that's made that joint pretty good. Once that's welded up, that'll be fine. And I'll do the same over at that end there. That's about 6 passes now. And each time I let it cool down, I wire brush it. And then I'll come back and I try and weld up against that weld, up against that weld along there, and just keep going rather than trying to weld the gaps. Weld up against those welds. That's nearly full, and that's cool now. So another pass. There we are. Oops. I think I've welded everything up, but I'm sure I will have missed somewhere. So I'll grind that back and then see what it looks like. Well, it's welded in, folded under that lip. A couple of spot welds here, plug welds. All okay, except for I've got a weird thing going on here. if I just put a hacksaw blade on there, there's a gap of about 2 millimeters of hollow here. So either this is too high or that's too low. And I could fill that with some weld to bring that out, or I could put a slit in here with a disc and push that in a little bit. So it's going to be a slit. So if I run a disc through there, that'll give me a gap of about 3 millimeters. But when I hammer that back in, we should lose most of that. Give that a whirl. And there we are, that's pretty much got rid of that. So that's closed up now. So I'll tack this up, and when that's solid, I'll be able to just knock this in a little, knock this back a bit, 'cause that's bouncing a bit at the moment. And that's brought that back to shape. And that'll be fine when that's finished. So that's cracked that, that'll be fine when that's finished. And some of the bits I took out. And so I've got that to look forward to now. Not as bad as the other side though, the other side was gone all along there. This one's pretty localised, and it's not as bad inside either. So, getting there.